All right, welcome to NFL Live. You know, Jeff Darlington, Mike Tannenbaum, our new quarterback today, Josh McCown.
Yeah.
Talking about Dak Prescott. What kind of money, what kind of a contract does he deserve, Mike?
Well, here's what's interesting. What he deserves and what Dallas may have to pay him, you know, you get into the mid-30s, $35 million where Aaron Rodgers is. And if you're Dallas, you're saying, well, he may not be as good as Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback, but here's the dilemma that Dallas has. When you say, well, if we're going to let Dak Prescott move on, where are we going to get our starting quarterback? And then you think about the immense amount of draft capital. Very rarely do we see these quarterbacks ever hit the open market. Kirk Cousins is obviously the most recent and noble example. So not only is it the value of the player, but oftentimes clubs are looking at the replacement cost, saying like, wow, even if we feel like he's worth $30, $31 million a year, to pay the $4 extra million on a salary cap that'll be $180 to $200 million is probably worth it, because we know it's so hard to find these guys. So if I'm Dak Prescott, time is on my side. I was a fourth-round pick, which was a huge disappointment on draft day. But now I'm in my fourth year of my contract. They don't want to franchise a quarterback, because now you lose your entire offseason because he doesn't have to come to the OTAs, the mini camps. So Dak Prescott has time on his side, and he has a lot of leverage.
Well, if you look at, too, what has happened this offseason, whether it be Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson getting his deal, while I don't necessarily think that that's setting the ceiling for this, I don't think that this is essentially a situation where the Cowboys are saying now we have to pay him what Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson paying, but it certainly does say, all right, where's our comp? What is it? Is it Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, or can we bring him down to 31, 32 million, get this deal done right now? I personally think that this deal will come in below 35 million.
But you see, Jeff, I understand that. On paper, I would agree with that. But if I'm Dak Prescott, I'll say, you know what, I'll wait, guys. I'm okay, because at the end of this year, I'm going to be an unrestricted free agent.
Sure.
Yeah.
But do you not feel like the Cowboys value Dak Prescott more than any other team in the NFL? It feels like that to me when you hear Stephen Jones talk.
They value their own, for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They like their own guys. So absolutely. But what we understand as a quarterback, we play a real estate position. And we're valuable real estate. And I personally benefited from that. Like, just because you play the position. And the Cowboys value Dak probably more than the league, but Dak understands that. So Dak will probably wait and so that he can see that whole value express itself.
And you know what? To defend Dak Prescott, when you go back and look at him compared to Russell Wilson, people want to get on Prescott and talk about how great Russell is. Better numbers, almost identical numbers, first 3 years of both of their careers. Dak Prescott's trajectory is way higher than a lot of people give him credit for it.
And again, the marketplace has answered the question on quarterbacks that have question marks. You look at Sam Bradford a year ago getting paid by Arizona again, despite all the injuries that he's had. Kirk Cousins, who's been a good quarterback, certainly not an elite, getting a 3-year fully guaranteed contract by Minnesota. So what the marketplace tells us, and I've been there, like when you need a quarterback and you got to overpay a little bit, and the salary cap, that's right, waterfront real estate, you know, and salary cap's $180 million, $200 million. If you have to overpay by a couple $1 million, what you say to your head coach is, hey, coach, we're going to find that couple million someplace else.
True. Josh, I want to get this to you, because this is, people say you only pay about the top 8 guys at that position. If you don't have that guy, then keep drafting, because it's so expensive now, and you can't, not as many resources elsewhere. Where does Dak stack up?
I mean, he's top half of the league. You know, I mean, he's a top 15 guy. You know, got to be. And my thing is this, with these quarterbacks getting paid, it's funny to me that the number keeps going up, and we look at Tom Brady and the discount that he's given in the rings that he has, and nobody has said, why don't I just, like if I'm Dak, why don't I take 28 or 30 and win games? You know, and it's a heck of a gamble, and it's a credit to Tom and his representatives and what they've been able to do. But it's fascinating to me that nobody's looked at that and said, you know what, I'm gonna follow that model. I'm gonna try to take a little less, especially with where the numbers are now. I'm gonna take a little less to hopefully make my team better, so that I can live in infamy because I can do that.
Hey, Josh, like to your point, could you imagine if you're Dak Prescott and you're the Super Bowl winning quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys? You'll more than make up that $7 million difference.
Exactly.
No question.
At the end of the day, what's the difference between $28 million and $30 million? I mean, if
about $2 million.
I got you.
And it's easy when it's not you to say that.
I got you, bro. Listen, nobody likes money more than me. But how's it going to change his life more at the end of the day? Go win some football games, dude. NFL Live Monday through Friday. ESPN, we're gone. I'm out of here.